Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm showing you guys how to make a cute exotic set for either dancers or something to wear in the house or to make a baby, you know. But I hope you guys really like this. Like and subscribe and let me know what you guys think. Okay guys, so here is the set I made a whole year ago. It's a thong set and it's actually really comfortable. I used Canon yarn for this, but it got a little fuzzy over time, so I don't recommend it. I used my own little loops, just made them up in the back. And then here is the top. It has a choker neckline and you attach it with buttons. Here's the loops for the buttons. You can make this as long as you need to. Here is the remake of the bottoms. All I really did was just add some loops to the back. That way it's easier for your client or your customer to see where they put their string through. The back, the string goes through the thong too, so it kind of comes out. The thong doesn't go all the way up, so if you're thinking, oh my god, this is too short, you can always make it longer. I use sugar and cream yarn and a G hook 4.25 millimeters. I started with a slip knot and I chained 60 for a small medium. If you're a larger size, you can kind of make it a little bigger. I would say I'm not sure about the multiples. I don't know. I know there's a ratio, but I'll definitely put it in the description once I find out. Okay, so here I single crocheted in the second from the hook and I single crocheted all the way down. So we're just going to single crochet the whole row and we're going to have 59 single crochets at the end.
La ciencia.
coming up towards the end, we're going to single crochet in the last couple stitches, and then we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. We're going to single crochet in that first single crochet and chain 4. Now we are skipping 2 stitches and single crocheting in that 3rd stitch. We're chaining 6 now, and we are going to skip 3 stitches and single crochet in that 4th stitch. We're going to chain 6 again and skip those next 3 stitches and single crochet in that 4th stitch. We're going to continue this same pattern with the 6 chains and skipping 3 and single crocheting in that 4th stitch until the last 3 stitches. Okay, now that we've reached the last 3 stitches, what we're going to do is just chain 4 and single crochet in that 3rd stitch. Well, the last stitch, I'm sorry. Then we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. Okay, so now we are going to single crochet in that first single crochet and chain 4. Then we're going to single crochet in that first chain 4 space and chain up 6. Now we're going to single crochet in that next chain 6 space and chain up another 6. I'm going to single crochet into the next chain 6 space, and we're going to continue this pattern until we reach the last chain 4 space. Okay, so now coming up to that last chain 4 space, we're going to chain 6 and single crochet into that last chain 4 space. Now we're going to chain 4 and we are going to single crochet in that last single crochet. Going to chain 1 and turn our work. Here is where it gets kind of repetitive. We're going to be doing basically the same thing for whatever desired length you want. So we're going to single crochet into that first single crochet and chain 4 for every beginning row. Single crochet in that first chain 4 space, then chain up 6 and single crochet into that next chain 6 space. Chain up 6 again and single crochet into that next chain 6 space. We're going to repeat doing this until the last chain 4 space. Okay, coming up to the last chain 4 space, we're going to chain up 6 and single crochet into that last chain 4 space. Now we're going to chain 4 and single crochet into that last single crochet. Going to chain 1 and repeat the pattern going on. So this pattern basically the chain 4 space will increase it to flow out, and you can make this as long as you want. I just made it up to 9 rows, 9 rows of the fishnet. So however long you want to make it, you can continue to keep going. You can make it a little shorter if you just want a little not too much of a high-waisted. So this pattern, the rest of this pattern is basically up to you. I'll leave the pattern on the bottom of the screen just so you guys can follow along until we reach our desired length. finishing up our last row, I'm chaining 6 and single crocheting in that last chain 4 space. Now I'm chaining 4 and single crocheting in that last single crochet. So now we're going to be working on the sides of our work. I just chained 1 and we are going to start off the loops. I'm just checking out, you know, where I started on the last project. So I just single crocheted alongside of each single crochet. It kind of looks like there's a stitch there, but I'm starting off real quick with the loops. So I single crocheted and chain 4. Now I'm single crocheting in the next space and in the next right after that. And we're going to do this one more time, and we are going to chain 4, single crocheting into that next space, and we're going to single crochet 2 more, and now chain 4 once again, single crochet into that next space and into the next 2 spaces, and in this last space we're going to chain 4 and single crochet into that edging. Now we're going to start right into the back loops of that foundation chain. So we're going to just single crochet right along the top of our work. I didn't make a corner chain because the loop was so close, and it would kind of gave it enough space to look even enough, so I didn't make any corner chains. This definitely gives it a nice finished look and gives you a little bit more room to add rhinestones later. coming up towards the end, we're just kind of going to do it the opposite way. So we're going to single crochet all the way to the end, and then single crochet right into the side of our work. Now we're going to chain 4 and single crochet into that next space and into the next 2 spaces. So we want to have a total of 3 single crochets in between every chain 4 space. So now we're going to chain up 4 once again, just seeing how much room I have to work with. Single crochet into these last couple stitches or spaces. Working into my last space, it's a little tight because of the chains, but it's definitely workable. So you just want to squeeze into there and chain your last loop for a total of 4 loops. And I just chained in the same space, and then I single crocheted. So finishing off, I just single crocheted in the same space and chained 1 and fastened off. So now you have all 4 of your loops for both your sides. Working in that tail, I'm trying to get it in as tightly as possible. You know, sometimes tails come out and stuff. I pretty much just work it in between stitches as tight as I can and then reverse it back. This usually works. On old projects, I never really see any tails falling out. So here is our finished product. What I'm doing is folding, well, not finished, but we're halfway there, guys. So I'm folding it in half and I'm trying to find the middle 4 chain spaces of our work. So I'm going to slip knot and we're going to start our panty line. Finding your middle 4, what you're going to do is in your first chain space from the left, we are going to slip stitch into that chain. Now we're going to chain up 2 and we are going to work 2 half double crochets in that first chain 6 space. Now we're going to half double crochet in that single crochet, and in your next chain 6 space, and in your next chain 6 space, we are going to half double crochet 3 stitches. Now we're going to half double crochet into that next single crochet, and now we're going to half double crochet 3 into that next chain 6 space. Doing another half double crochet into that single crochet and 2 half double crochets into that last chain 6 space. Now we're going to chain 2 and turn our work. We're going to half double crochet in each half double crochet across. Sometimes it's hard finding the right 4 chain spaces to start your panty line, but you can always, sometimes it'll probably be uneven, 1 chain space on one side. It's always good to count down into the last chain 4, well, the middle chain 4 in your pattern. But you can always, it's always fine to have 1 extra on one side. It will still look perfect because the corset will pull it back and make it look a little even. So we're working on our last half double crochet for this stitch, and we are going to chain up 2 and half double crochet in each stitch across once again. Working up on our last row, we are going to chain 2, and here is where our decreasing row begins. So we're going to chain up 2, and we're going to yarn over, pull through that first stitch, yarn over, and pull through that next stitch. Now we're going to pull through all 5 of our loops on our hook. We're going to half double crochet into the last 2 stitches. Working another decrease into that those next last 2, we're going to pull through, and we're going to pull through that other stitch again for 5 total loops on our hook. Then we're going to chain 2 and continue on with our decrease. So we're going to half double crochet 2 together, pull through those 5 loops on our hook, and half double crochet again until the last 2 stitches on our row. I'm sorry. Doing another decrease, we're going to yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through once again for a total of 5 loops, and pull through all those 5 loops. Now we're going to chain 2 and continue on with our decrease. I'm going to yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through that next stitch, yarn over, and pull through all 5. Now we're going to half double crochet into the last 2 on this row. We're going to work another decrease, yarn over and pull through all 5 loops, and chain 2. We're going to continue this until we get a desired length. I usually just do it until the last 3 stitches, but you can do it until you have 2 stitches or 1 stitch, whatever you feel more comfortable with. This is basically coming up into that thong area, So however thin you may want it works perfectly for you. You can make it as long as you want as well. If you need a little thicker part, more of a thicker panty line for this part, it's always good to just add a few more stitches into your chain spaces. Coming up to my last decrease row, I'm just going to half double crochet in each across for a total of 3 stitches. Now I'm going to just chain up 2 and continue to half double crochet across until my desired thong length. I think I did probably a total of 10 rows for this thong stitch. For this thong. You can make it a little longer, however long it works for you. Mine is a little short, so it doesn't come up out onto your waistline. It just kind of sticks in the middle, and the strings come out the rest of the way through. It gives it a nice sexy look, but you can always make it a little longer. So for this part, I kind of just folded the project in half, and here I'm just going to slip stitch so that way we have a loop for our string. So I slip stitch to the according side to where my single crochets are faced. I like a finished look, so I just kept the flap on the other side, basically the back side of our project. So I'm just going to slip stitch this together. It's a total of 4 rows here, folded in half. So that gives it enough space for your string to pull through, for you to pull your string through with your hook. Definitely a good idea. I loved it. So I'm just going to chain one and work on my edging. So I'm going to single crochet up the side of each half double crochet. It's kind of working on the other side of my project, I just realized. So I'm just going to take this out and chain one, and I'm going to finish off instead because I kind of want that clean look for both sides. So I don't want to single crochet on the opposite side. So we're just going to flip over. We're going to slip stitch to that chain 6 space and work our tail in our work. And we're going to start off in that first side half double crochet and in the rest down. So we're just working on each side of each row. We're not adding 2 or adding any in-betweens. We're just kind of cleaning up this edge, making it look nice and tight. If you want to add a few more single crochets, that's totally fine. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just kind of keep it consistent on both sides. Like if you add a few in between stitches, make sure you do the same thing on the other side. Alright, so here instead of fastening off, I'm just going to slip stitch into basically the same stitches where I slip stitched on the other side. Just kind of under it. You can kind of see where it is, so it's kind of a little easier. It might give it a little detail, but it's fine. It identifies the loop way more, so you can definitely see it better. So we're just going to single crochet up that other side. And so now we are going to slip stitch into that chain 6 space, chain 1, and we're going to fasten off. You can work that tail right into your work, into those few stitches. Sometimes people burn it off, but this cotton yarn is kind of hard to burn. It really just catches fire. So it really won't do anything if you try to burn it off. If you're working with more of an acrylic yarn, I would definitely work it in a few stitches and then burn the end of it. Sometimes it'll burn a little black and you can just tap it with your finger and that'll kind of seal it pretty good. But for this cotton, that won't work. So I just fastened up all the way to the end and stretched it out. Now for that end tail sticking out, you can always work that in later. But here is the finished product. You are basically all finished. All you really need to do is work up your string for your corset. You can make this as long as you need to, maybe sometimes shorter, maybe sometimes longer. Just work a long crochet chain. I would say probably like 300 chains would be safe, maybe a little more if you're more of a medium. This basically kind of gives you the space in the back for your corset, And as well as this is going onto the thong, so you kind of want to think of that when you're chaining. So always leave a little room to go through your thong and as well as your corset. I'm trying to chain as fast as I can because I'm dying to see this project finished. Kind of lining up my last string with my current one, just to see how long I need to do it. I just need a little bit longer. This is always good to probably have, like, let's say you made a string and it wasn't long enough, or maybe it was too long. Always compare and contrast until you get the perfect size. So I'm gonna keep crocheting on this, but I am going to make it a little longer than my past one. Okay, so now we're going to fasten off, and here comes the fun part, guys, putting it all together. So I'm just gonna turn my work, and we are going to work from the back of our project. What we're going to do is put our hook through our thong loop. So we're just going to pull that yarn, well, that chain right through there. So again, I'm going to show you guys, put our hook through this loop, and we're just going to pull through that loop. And this basically is the center of your corset. So what you want to do is just even out those lines together. Make sure it's at the middle of our chain. And there we go. Now we're going to start working this in to our corset loops. So I didn't really cross it. I thought about it, but it would kind of give it a cringed up look at your thong. So you just want to go ahead and put that left string into that first loop and the right string into that first bottom loop. And now here's where we begin crossing our yarn. So we're just going to pull that string from the other side and then cross it over to that loop and basically just kind of lace it up. So this is where it gets really cute. It gets really fun. I mean, you can also add beads to this. You can add some rhinestones, whatever you want to add to your little chain to make it a little different. Just make sure it's still adjustable and your client can always take it off and put it back on. So I'm just tugging a little bit just so it has that little X look. It gives it a cute look, pulling down on the thong just to make sure there's enough space. Just kind of adjusting it as I go. That's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this and have a beautiful, blessed day.